Hey guys, you're welcome to my channel. My name is Sarah Enobunga, and if you're just joining me for the first time, continue checking up on me. Yeah, just subscribe to this channel and tell your friends to also subscribe to this channel. And if you are a regular subscriber, please, like my videos, leave a comment. You could share and just tell one or two people about my YouTube channel. Yeah, so today I'll just be doing a video which is a continuation of what I was talking about in my previous video. Yeah, and if you're watching this video for the first time and you didn't see my previous video, I was talking about how I almost gave birth in my ward when I was pregnant, and you can watch the previous video to keep track of what I was saying. So for those of you who have watched the previous video, this is like a continuation of like a part 2 of the gist. So like I said, the doctor came in and realized that I had dilated to 10 cm, and she said, Omo, this woman go born for year. So she was telling the nurses to go downstairs to get the things from the labor ward upstairs, and she was like, hurry up. And I told her, I was just thinking of how long I'm going to wait, for them to bring the things, arrange it. And that is my ward, for crying out loud. That's where I'm supposed to rest when I have put to bed. That's where I'm to receive my visitors. And then you're asking that I should give birth there when nothing has been arranged. And I was having the urge to push. Daniel and my younger sister, Queenette, they just couldn't fathom it. They were like, you guys are not serious. So she said, can you go to the labor ward? Can you walk down there? I said, of course I can. And I told her, how long will it even take them to bring the things and arrange it? It's the same thing. Let me just walk down. She's like, you're overdilated. Like, I can see the membrane. I don't want a situation where you give birth on the stairs or something. I said, don't worry, I can do it. So Daniel was like, are you sure? I said, yes, I can do it. Let's go. So Daniel couldn't take it. My sister was just putting her hand underneath my bum bum, like, so that in case the child pops out, she can catch the child or something. But anyways, we go to the labor room. This is the shocker. The labor room wasn't set up. There was someone painting. There was a painter in the labor room. The person was literally painting the labor room. The place was filled with it was filled with this stench, this painting smell. You could choke on it. And don't get me wrong, like, don't think I went to just a terrible hospital, like one cheap hospital. No, it's a private hospital, and it's not cheap. It's not cheap. I don't need to tell you how much I spent for my antenatal, or how much I spent for the private ward, or how much I spent for whatever I spent on. You get, I don't need to go down that lane. But this is not a cheap hospital. The hospital looks good, and according to them, they are specialists. Anyways, Daniel was just speaking English. He was saying, I don't understand how a painter will be in this labor room when you have patients who are in labor and are about to give birth. This is just unbelievable. I can't fathom it. This is so unprofessional. I couldn't bear to hear him speak English at that time. Do you get? So I just told them, where am I climbing? Which bed? How am I doing this? My own was just to give birth. And trust me, I was holding myself from pushing my child out. Do you know what it feels like to be pressed, like you want to poop, and then you're holding it? You'll be sweating under AC. That's how I was feeling. I laid on the bed. They didn't even have the place set up. Yeah, it was that crazy. It wasn't set up. So while I was lying down there and I opened my legs, she was trying to break something, maybe trying to open the whatever from my body. I don't know what she was doing, the doctor was doing, but I think they're trying to open, is it the membrane or something? I can't really tell, so that the child can come out. There's this white stuff that covers a child. I'm not a medical student. I'm sure medical students know what I'm talking about. But that thing that envelopes a child, where the child can burst open, Yeah, that's what they're trying to open. And my sister said she could actually see the head of the child. They were not allowed to stay, but if I had insisted, they would have stayed. At that time, they were already angry, they were really disgusted with the manner of how they had taken my delivery, how they have attended to me. My sister and my baby daddy was so disgusted, like I could see it on their faces. So I was like, you should just stay outside, that they should not worry. When I put to bed, they'll be called in. Yeah. So finally I gave birth, and she was just saying, you're a strong woman, this your birth is a miracle, how could you be in labor for just 5 hours, how could you do this, how could you do that? You're just like, oh my god. Just 2 pushes and the child came out, just to show you how due I was to give birth. 2 pushes. I pushed the first time the head came out, I pushed the second time and the entire body came out. Although the child was a 3.6 kg child, and he told me, so they had to sew it. Finally I went upstairs, we were happy, the child was born, blah blah blah, everybody was fine. We were trying to see who the child looks like, and she was explaining to Daniel, explaining to me how she didn't know that I was going to be in labor so quickly, blah 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 blah. We kept quiet. Daniel already there was already a red flag for him. He has already noticed a lot of red flags. First, it was my scan. The doctor scanned me like 5 times, and he didn't bring the scan copy because he kept talking about the printer had a problem. Finally, the scan copy he gave to us, I was already 35 weeks old, and it was just the head that we could see. We didn't even see the entire body. That was already a problem. The second red flag was the fact that the nurse didn't make me give birth on time, but the nurse didn't know I had dilated. Now the third red flag was that the next day after the child had been immunized, a nurse brought the drugs the child was to take, like an antibiotic and a multivitamin, and put a prescription, and then went downstairs, came up like 15 minutes and changed the prescription, like, sorry. So Daniel was like, if we had gone home and we used your previous prescription, what would have happened to my child, who is just like a day old? Finally, the main doctor came, and Daniel was just complaining, like, I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like the fact that this happened, I don't like the fact that this doctor was a bit careless and my spouse almost gave birth here. I don't like the fact that my child's prescription was changed. I don't like it. I like things being precise. People should be meticulous. You guys should be straightforward. You guys should be focused. The doctor apologized. We went home. When we got home, I realized I wasn't giving a discharge drug. Like, I wasn't given anything to take for my pain. And they gave me drugs after I had put to bed. They gave me drugs the next day. But I was in pain. I had stitches on. My entire body was in pain. That postpartum is so painful that you won't even be able to differentiate between your labor pain and your postpartum pain, because everything is painful. It's crazily painful, and I was in that pain the whole of that day. I didn't have drugs to take. And then the next day I called the doctor. I didn't have discharge drugs. I was like, why didn't you ask? I said, am I supposed to ask for discharge drugs? That is your job. You have to give me discharge drugs before I leave the hospital. For crying out loud. Finally, Daniel went to the hospital, got the discharge drugs, and he was like, you know what, I have to call this doctor. He called the doctor and spoke, and the doctor told him, and when he told the doctor that this is the height of unprofessionalism for everything we have spent so far, this is the height of professionalism from you guys. The doctor tried to, prove himself that no, Daniel should not speak like that they are professionals, they are specialists, blah 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 blah. He apologized for this, that. So this is why I'm doing this video. Immediately you have a red flag, or you feel that the hospital is not being professional about some of the things they want to do for you, leave. The traffic to leave my area is terrible, so we just succumb to the closeness of the hospital, and the hospital seemed good. So immediately you find out that they are being unprofessional, no matter how cute the hospital looks or no matter how intelligent the sound, just leave. Because if the story was different, if the nurse didn't come and I tried to push my child and then something happened, because nobody will know how to take off the placenta from my body, or nobody, my spouse or queenette, they don't know how they could help me out when I'm trying to push the child. What if something went wrong? I won't be having this conversation with you. Maybe I would have still been in the hospital trying to get better. So please, pregnancy and delivery is something it's something very, very important, very significant, very special. You don't have to joke with it. Like for me, I feel I took certain things for granted. Maybe I would have just walked away. When Daniel was having the red flag or some things, we wouldn't have cared about what we paid for antenatal. I would have gone to a better hospital because my life was at stake. And I feel hospitals, the doctors and the nurses or whoever is in charge, whatever they are doing, the matrons, cleaners, they just have to be spot on because people's lives are in danger. I can imagine how many people have lost their life because of the carelessness of some medical practitioners. And come to think of it, I don't think everybody who have died in the hospital died because of their illness. Some of them died because of the carelessness from these medical practitioners. I stand corrected. I'm not saying I'm saying this out of research or something has happened to someone close to me, but I feel it's just my thoughts. I stand corrected, but I just feel based on the carelessness I experienced in this hospital, I really think people die. Some people die from the carelessness of some medical practitioners. And medical practitioners should know that people's lives are in their hands. Therefore, they need to be spot on. Distraction is not supposed to be on their list at all. So this is it for how I almost gave birth in my ward. The next video coming up will be about how my child's circumcision went wrong. It's not a joke, and I think you want to see what I have to say about it. So till I come your way again, my name is Sarah Enobunga. Keep watching me. Bye.